Hey, thanks for watching. This is my 10 HP blackjacking guide. I wanted to create a quick video for one of the methods that I've noticed a lot of 10 HP and level 3 specific skill pures not taking advantage of, pre-91 at minimum. Even normal modes, to be honest, tend to skip blackjacking because they have no idea how to do it, even though it's a lot less XP to do any other method. For example, knights. Now, on a UIM, it is more annoying to do knights pre-99 simply because of the reality that you have to go and get cakes every single time. You can only buy so many cakes from the chef that's over there near the stall, and if you have to steal them, you don't always get cakes every single time. So it's kind of a pain to get a full inventory of food to keep doing, and then you fail quite a bit. The XP rate is just not that great. So this method is obviously a lot better. It is the best in slot method for normal mode till 91, and then you can do Pyramid Plunder. Honestly, for an iron, you can do Pyramid Plunder. For UIM, there is a route, though the XP isn't that great until you have at least a couple of Pharaoh Scepters, or at least one. I think that's probably decent past 91 because you can get gold and refill it. So let's talk about unlocking blackjacking. One of the most common misconceptions is that when you are going to start blackjacking, that you have to complete the feud quest. And as you can see here, I do not have the feud quest complete. So there is a point in the quest where you obtain from the, I think it is Ali, but from the operator NPC, Ali the operator, he will give you a oak blackjack. Now, if you were to drop it right then and talk to him again, he would re-give you the oak blackjack. So you can re-obtain it, which is nice. Obviously, if you're an iron and you have a bank, you would want to store that in your bank so you don't have to get it again. But if you were a UIM and you needed to get one again, you could. Now, if you proceed any step past that step in the quest, you will not be able to get the blackjack again. So I repeat, do not go beyond that step in the quest. Again, if you want to see in the feud, I have so far pickpocketed 2 of the 3 villagers. He gives you the oak blackjack, and that's when you don't do anything more. Now, if you did want to proceed on the feud, let's say Recoils came out for iron level 3s, or you're a 10 HP build, then you would obviously want to complete the quest with 10 HP. Now, you might be early in on your count and not have Guthix Rest or Ceridome and Bruise for the second boss of the feud, so you might not want to until you're done. That being said, once you have the blackjack, there is the ability to pickpocket at 45, the Palmnivian Bandits. At 53, you would think that you can thieve those, but there isn't a change. It's 55 actually that gives you the Palmnivian Bandits, so you can do 45 to 55, and 55 all the way until 65, and at 65 you unlock Menethite Thugs, and you can do that all the way till 99. The second thing you'd most likely would want to have is the full Rogues equipment set. This allows you to get double the coins every time you successfully pickpocket, and it looks really cool anyways, and you can wear it in a full inventory. You can also store this in your POH at a pretty low level of only 46 construction. I think it's actually 42, but for the ability to store, let's say, your Graceful and Rogue set, not that difficult, so that you can have all the maximum inventory space you can have. I currently have something from the Ardone Easy Diary, and then also some Belladonna Seeds for Poison Dynamite later. So, you're going to have more. So far from, I think I started at 45, I went till 64 for Stone Chest, and then I did Stone Chest for 1k charges and to get the Xerix Talisman, and that got me to 73. And then I've been doing blackjacking 73 to 95, and I've made about 7 million coins. So I just put that in the PO8 or in the LMS coffer, so you can only see 163 right now. Now let's get to the actual blackjacking method. One thing you're going to want to do is in your XP drops, you're going to want to put on speed to faster. You're going to want to make sure duration is on permanent. You can have the progress bar if you want to or don't want. If you want to have the thieving counter, I would recommend. It's kind of a nice way to see every single day. You can just click start point, click set, do current XP, and it'll reset here. For example, I just hit 9 mil. And you can see how much XP you're getting per day if you're doing some kind of calculation to determine when you're going to complete 99. I think altogether it's about 60 hours. It might be a little bit more for irons because we have to leave the tent and go get more jugs of wine. Okay, so with that being said, this is the best spot for the Menafite Thug. You'll see some people who will blackjack in this area over here. There's a Menafite Thug in there. But for some reason, this curtain, it seems to automatically open. I'm not sure why. This one will stay closed, but you can have an issue if there's more than one in there. And you have to go through one curtain and a second curtain in order to get over here, which is where you'll actually buy those wines with 2 world hops. Courtesy is to always go through when there's nobody else doing it in here, especially if they're around right here in either of these tiles, because they might lose the Menafite Thug and you might ruin the area for them. So it's common courtesy to not enter the curtain on a world where there's people. You can always do that, enter in, and then swap back to your world. Now, when it comes to the Thug himself, he's going to move around anywhere. However, if you move one tile away from him, you will be able to block him. So right now, for example, let's say I need to AFK for something. I could simply just stand here and he can move around. He won't reset or respawn, aka leaving the tent. So you'll always want to make sure he has room if you're going to AFK for a second or go to the bathroom or whatever it is. It also kind of lets other people know that you are on this world doing blackjacking, so somebody can hop and find another world for themselves. Now, once he's in an ideal position, which is going to be one of these, either in this tile right here, this tile right here that he's on, or this tile. Now, you can also get a situation where he's on this tile and you're standing here, but I would recommend that you move and let him get into one of these 3 tiles. I personally like this tile right here the best, but it doesn't really matter all that much. Now, once you're on the way and he can no longer move, that is going to be something that you want to ensure that you are ready to go, because you're going to start spawning the timer for him to respawn. And you should be fine to use an entire inventory, even if he's stuck in one spot. But it will become an issue if you AFK. You'll come back, your Menafite Thug will be gone, and you'll be wondering, I have to lure him. It's not that difficult to lure. You just click lure, get him to say, not, I'm busy, go away, and instead show him the surprise and take him in here through the curtain, get him in, not too difficult. Now, once you're actually ready to thieve, there's really, the only thing you can actually eat is typically wines. If you do have cakes and you want to unnote them, it can be worthwhile, but the XP increase isn't all that great for how fast as an iron you can obtain these jug of wines. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you have always 10 hit points whenever you go to to knockout. A knockout can fail, giving you, I believe, either a 5 or a 4. And once you fail that, you have to immediately pickpocket in order to nullify the Menafite Thug from attacking you. So as long as you can always pickpocket right after, you'll never die. Now the problem is, if you don't have 10 hit points, let's say you have 9, and you go to attempt a knockout, and you fail, you'll be hit. That won't kill you. But what will kill you is if you fail the following pickpocket to prevent combat from aggro. That's what usually happens. So you got to get really comfortable with basically being at all times 10, 6, and 1 hit points. Now, I like to take advantage of much of my wine as possible, since this is going to heal me straight to 10. And then you can set up the plugin to instantly click one-click drop if you'd like. But what I like to do is essentially, I'm going to knock out, pickpocket, pickpocket. That's always going to be the rotation. Now, when you knock out, you'll see the XP drop come up at this point. The moment that you see the XP drop is when you want to do the pickpocket. And then when you see the XP drop again, that's when you want to do pickpocket again. So really what you're following is your hit points and the specific XP drops. So you're always keeping your eyes around here while your cursor's over here. Now you can use mouse keys or auto hotkeys. The reason you can use auto hotkeys is this. You can remap your keys and use, for example, QWER, ASDF, ASDF. Now that is one input, one output. That also prevents it so you're not clicking constantly and you get carpal tunnel. or if you've got issues, some kind of disability or something, you might want to be able to use your keyboard in order to do something. So you can use that, or you can use something like Mousekeys, which is built into computer system. I'll link a couple guides below from Elegy, who was the first person I watched those videos for. I personally use auto hotkeys for this because I don't feel like I'm going to get banned. I'm not doing anything sketchy. Nothing is automated. And I'm putting in a lot of inputs, as you might even hear in the mic when I go to do it. Now, the thing about it is, you can manually do it. Once you understand where things are, it's not a big deal to do it this way. It's really slow. And you'll see that there's a flow. So if you pickpocket the second one, slightly too late off the first pickpocket, it will actually do a pickpocket as if he's standing up. That'll hit a 5 instead of a 4, for example, and that is not a good thing because you're going to have to eat immediately. So you do want it to be knockout, pickpocket, pickpocket, and you have to do it in a time frame. And when you see that second pickpocket XP drop, that is when you're going to go ahead and knock out again. And that's when you're going to get into a flow. Pickpocket, pickpocket, knockout. So you're watching the XP drops there up near your HP, and you're always keeping an ID, or at least your eyes on the hit points and the XP drops. Now, maybe you can hear my fingers crunching lots of buttons. I actually have some wrist issues because I work on a computer quite a bit. And so I can't sit here and try to click and move my my cursor down constantly for something like this. It hurts after a pretty short amount of time. Now, so far we haven't failed. The XP rate, as I'll show in a last bit of this video guide, I will show about 15, actually I think it's 20 minutes, and I'll speed it up. I've done also an hour long to confirm of just straight up blackjacking, and you can get anywhere from 230k upwards to 250k per hour. Now you are going to fail some, and so that's going to drop it down a little bit, but that's about how much XP per hour you can get doing just blackjacking, which is obviously far superior to nights. And honestly, the amount of time you can get 99, it's worthwhile doing this, even if you want to do Master Farmer for seeds. Get 99, get the cape, and then you can do no fail, whether already nights or if you want to do post 99 Master Farmer. So you'll notice there, this is a perfect example of where I failed the knockout, but then also failed the follow-up pickpocket, which means I'm going to always drop to 1 HP. You'll get very, very comfortable with 1 hit point. Now, at this point, you're obviously not going to try to knock out because you could fail and die. You're obviously, if you, for some reason, accidentally did, you might succeed in the knockout. You do not want to pickpocket right after that. Just stop what you're doing and eat. Now, if you do eat, which a wine will give you max hit points, I'd like to show you a successful pickpocket after a failed knockout. Okay, perfect. So as you can see there, we failed the knockout, but we succeeded in the following up pickpocket, the first one, which now means that he's not going to attack us. So we're in a situation where we're at 6 hit points. Now a standard account might have cakes, and so they might utilize a cake here, go back to 10, and go straight to blackjacking via knocking out again. For me, I don't want to waste food. A whole wine that can heal 10 hit points is not worthwhile, and I want to see how far I can go. So at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and just standard pickpocket until I fail. Now, sometimes I'll go all the way up to 8 or 9 coin pouches before I'll fail, and so then I can use my jug and restart. So you can see how much you want to do with it. I can go pretty long with the full inventory of wines, and that's pretty much all there is to it. There's not much more to say. I will then show a clip of me doing this for some time to some music. Hopefully this guide was helpful for you. If you have any questions at all, feel free to message me. Let me know. I would be glad to try to help you with this. Obviously, you're going to have a couple of learning experiences. If you're hardcore, test it out with your regular account. Pretty self-explanatory. Get the feel for it. I probably wouldn't do it as a hardcore, in all fairness, just because you could easily die. Up to 95, I have died a total of 3 times. I have in the past gotten 99 this way on a UIM and lasted all the way until 98, but I have almost always died at least 1 time. Be patient with yourself as you're learning this method. It's really not all that difficult. Once you get the flow of it, you can kind of zone out into a state and really enjoy your good XP per hour. Hope this helps. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.